Again, Selamat Pagi. Good morning, everybody. I'm really glad to see you this morning. And my presentation, the title is Sustainable Management of Mangrove Ecosystem. I think that I will be presented to you about 15 minutes because we have many speakers. I would like to say to you that when we talk about the mangrove in the world, we found that we have about 120 countries connected to the sea. So it means that we have about 120 countries having mangrove in the world. But today I think that the richest of the mangrove forest, according to Flora and Fauna, I think that in Southeast Asia is the most complex or very diversity in both plants and fauna more than the other part of the world. But unfortunately, we lost the mangrove forest annually. ISME did an atlas, and we found that the mangrove lost about 1% of the total mangrove in the world. If you see this histogram or this graph, you can see that the decreasing of the mangrove during from 1980 to 2010. I do not go to detail because very clear here you can see that we lost the mangrove annually. When we talk about the management of the mangrove ecosystem, we have to consider in many dimensions. For example, we have to think about the values of the mangrove forest or the mangrove ecosystem. We have to think about the benefit of the maintaining the mangrove ecosystem. And we have to think about the threat or the problem to decrease the mangrove forest. And also, we have to learn about the structure and the functioning of the mangrove. And lastly, we will have a plan or national plan for the mangrove ecosystem management. We have to think about the national policy on the mangrove by each country. When we talk about the value of the mangrove forest, in this morning I already mentioned, but without picture. So now you can see that the values mangrove forest in terms of flora or the plants. In Thailand, we use a lot of products from the mangrove ecosystem, plants and animals. And many countries, they make a charcoal. The charcoal is very, very high quality from the Rhizophyra species if compared to another inland plants. Very high. And many local people, they use the plants for the medicine and also for cosmetic, like a shampoo or soap from many variety of plants. If we talk to the flora, I think that everybody agree with me that many countries or many local communities in the coastal area, they have to live in or depend on the fishery products, crab, fish, marine animals, many varieties. Professor McNay, he wrote his book and he said that no mangrove, no prawn. Because of the mangrove, it is prawnings for the marine ecosystem. And then we talk to the mangrove forest to maintaining the enjoying ecosystem. Because in coastal area, I think that we know that nearby the mangrove, we have a seagrass ecosystem. And down deep, and then we have a coral reef ecosystem. The mangrove like a filter for the water, because when we have dirty water from the inland. The mangrove should be like a filter to protect to the seagrass and coral reef. And actually, we said that the mangrove like a home, house of the marine animals, because you can see that the shrimp, prawn, or whatever the marine animal, they use the mangrove like a house or a home to stay, like a kitchen, because all the leaves from the mangrove after degradation, these are nutrients for the marine animals. So it is a very high value of the mangrove ecosystem. And these are the birds, I think that in some country, we found about 300 birds living in mangrove ecosystem, because mangrove is very productive in terms of the animal or bird feed on their life. This is very common birds we found in the mangrove forest. Unfortunately, today, this is the threat or the problems to destroy the mangrove forest in our region. Shrimp farming is one of the main activities destroy the mangrove. I can say in Thailand, 100% the mangrove loss, almost due to the shrimp pond along the coastal line. In some countries, they clear cut for oil palm, for many activities. You can see from the picture. And this you can see from the soil erosion. The coastal erosion is very severe. I think that not only in Thailand, but also in many countries, because of the big tsunami or many big current. You can see this is formerly this in Thailand, you see. We have only a small strip of mangrove, but behind the strip of mangrove is the shrimp pond. It is in the Gulf of Thailand, but in the Andaman Sea, there's good condition. And this, they always harvest a lot of timber. And this picture, this Professor Baba just put in here at Banda Aceh, Indonesia, after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. I think that we can remember. And I said that some expert from Thailand, they come to visit there and planting together with the scientists from Myanmar. And the structure and function of mangrove ecosystem, we have to study very, very deep about the structure and function. Because the mangrove ecosystem is the transition zone between land and the sea. Anything in between is very important. We have to learn a lot. For example, like in the border, the country border, many variety of people, many function. So we have to study very in details like this, because the mangrove can produce the food chain, without mangrove, and then I believe that we cannot have plenty of marine animals, because the mangrove is the beginning of the food chain in the coastal area. And this mangrove are different type in different the world. I think that if we read from the atlas, mangrove atlas, Indonesia is number one, the biggest area in the world. Number two is Brazil, because they have very long coastal line. But the big one area, the biggest one area contention is Sundaban mangrove forest is the biggest area. It means that in the same area. So I think that this is what we have to consider. When we talk about the policy, I think that many countries we need to protect, to conserve the existing mangrove. That's what we do in Thailand now. And we have to increase mangrove area by rehabilitation and wise use of mangrove resources in terms of sustainable management. I think that the most important to manage on the basis of sustainable development is the public participation. This is very important because in my country I try to introduce the curriculum. We put the mangrove ecosystem study from the pre-university and to the public. Protection and conservation of existing mangrove. I think that we still have very rich mangrove and beautiful. In some countries, they allocate to the good mangrove for the conservation zone only. Protection and conservation of existing mangrove forest. Example, I believe that my friend in this room, maybe many people, they went to visit Ranong Biosphere Reserve, UNESCO in Thailand. We have about 30,000 hectares. This is good for education in that area. For Cancer Mangrove Biosphere Reserve, we have about 31,800 hectares in Vietnam. And we have a lower Kinabatangan Sikama wetland Ramsar site. And I believe that in Indonesia also we have a Ramsar site. I don't know because I did not put it here. When we talk about the increasing mangrove area by rehabilitation, you can see that the mangrove plantation in Oman, actually in Oman, the coastal area have very high salinity. So maybe only one species, Professor Baba and staff from ISME, they went there and they plant the mangrove with the local people. Maybe only one species can respond to those habitat. That is the Abyssinia marina. Abyssinia marina is very long tolerance to the salinity. And I don't remember, last 2 or 3 years, we have a seminar in Gujarat, in India, and then we went to plant the mangrove. You can see that most is women in India. All the women. When I joined the Paris conference last 2 years, I think that they are trying to encourage the youth and the women to work more on environmental protection. So these are some examples. Every countries, everywhere in the world, try to increase more mangrove forest. And this wide use of mangrove resources. I think that many communities in Thailand, what we call it, we have a crab bank. Crab bank. That is the project. Because when they collect the crab with egg, and then they put in the bank, and then they can release to the sea again. And the owner of that crab, they have to buy it. So it's a work very well. So that is one example for the sustainable use for the mangrove resources. I think that we have many variety of products from the mangrove forest. You can see here, we use nipa palm, we use tannin for dyeing clothes and for the wood carving. Public participation in mangrove management is very, very important. And I can see that, I think that many countries, not only the government, but also the private sector, they have a CSR, corporate social responsibility. Some countries, the private sector put a lot of money, and especially Thailand, they put a lot of money for the mangrove rehabilitation. I think that we can learn some from our neighboring countries. I think that the private sector also put interesting in natural resources protection more than previous time. You can see in this picture many. And this Professor Baba just took the picture from Kiribati and Sabah. The student come to plant the mangrove. So key indicator for sustainable mangrove management, I think that in these countries, if we can have a plan cover on these items, I think that we will have a very good management for sustainable in the future. One thing is good governance and law enforcement. I think that the weak point to degrade the mangrove forest, we have many laws and regulations, but the enforcement is very weak. Because sometimes we say that the people along the coast, when they use the mangrove, we thought that they are very poor. So we don't need to punish them or to do something that not so good for them, I can say. So we are trying to educate them better than enforce them. Number two, management of mangrove based on strategic plan. I think that in every country we have to look overall the mangrove, and we look at the strategic plan for the national plan for each countries. Active restoration and degraded mangrove, that is one I already mentioned. We need to increase more mangrove. Establishment of totally protected mangroves and curtail of conversion and use of the mangrove loss. I think that is very important. Public participation only that can save the mangrove successful. Capability building in mangrove management and conservation, is also very important. I think that the UNESCO, ITTO, we have, I think almost finished. We have many trainings. And after we train the people, I follow up. Maybe only 50 of them, they change to work in another job. So I feel very upset. So I think that the manpower in mangrove forest, even now, is an increase. And then the last one, participation by all stakeholders, including private sector. I already mentioned, if we can encourage the private sector, I think that we can have more budget. Okay, this is the key success in Thailand. I worked for the king about the mangrove ecosystem. Our past king, King Ramanai, he interested in mangrove very much. And when one time, he went to visit the mangrove, and he told me that whatever you do with the mangrove plantation or whatever management, you have to think about the people. Don't forget the people. What useful to them, that's what our king said. But in the same time, we have to conserve the mangrove also. And the key success, the other one is Her Royal Highness Sirithorn. She went to visit mangrove many times, and she planted by herself. And she told me when he would like to plant the mangrove, he said to me, to select the deep mud. She liked to walk in the deep mud. So, and next month on 19th, May, I invite her to join with the senator to plant the mangrove in Chantaburi. So this is the key success for us. It's a good example. And the people of Thailand, actually, they follow our King Ramanai and our Her Royal Highness Princess Siriton. And the key success, another one is in 1998, the Thailand, they revised the national policy. And now, we not allow any activity to use the mangrove, even 1 hectare, no more prohibit, not to use only rehabilitation. And the Siriton International Environment Park and Cha'am, these are established by Her Royal Highness Princess Siriton. So this what I would like to share you in this morning about how to manage the mangrove ecosystem in terms of sustainable management. So I believe that you can use some example from my presentation, or you can add, we can share knowledge today, because mangrove very important. That's why we have ISME, International Society for Mangrove Ecosystem, and then we brought this brochure. If you would like to be the minister, we welcome. And at the moment, I heard that we have about 93 or almost 100 countries by country to be the member, and individual maybe 3,000 or 4,000, and then we can share knowledge. You can send your study or your research to publish in this letter of the newsletter for ISME. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.